past generation moonshiners set up shop in the Ozark Mountains, cooking batches of corn mash, which eventually became whiskey, or something like it. They tried to stay one step ahead of the law. These days you can still find a moonshiner, but it's all legal. National reporter Tyne takes us to southern Missouri, where the corn is cooking.
Off the beaten path, nestled between overgrown oak trees in the Ozarks of Missouri, sets a business building its own roots. Jim Blancett owns Copper Run Distillery. His canvas, a still where he's trying to perfect an art that's been around for years.
To make alcohol is easy. To make it taste good is where the art really takes over.
Blancett makes corn whiskey.
Well, you can see the stills running now.
Vodka, whiskey, you name it. He makes it all. But the crowd favorite is a type that's had many names over the years, most commonly moonshine.
This is a hydrometer, and the hydrometer measures the alcohol percentage. And you can see that it's right at 80% alcohol.
In just 3 years, business has been booming and people continue to venture back for more. But in the beginning, some people doubted Blancett.
My poor parents, when I told them that I thought it would be a good idea to build a distillery in the backyard, I'm so fortunate. My parents were very supportive, but I know a lot of people were scratching their heads thinking, is this real? Can this really be happening? So it was a risk, like any small business, to take that chance, and it's worked out really well for us.
He brewed beer professionally for 10 years and then decided to take that profession one step further and make whiskey. And it's a craft that depends on your sense of taste and smell to get the flavor just right.
And the art is deciding the difference between the heads and the tails that contribute to the heart for the flavor and aroma.
He says the recipe is simple, 80% corn and 20% wheat, both of which are supplied by local farmers. It's the natural resources in the Ozarks that makes it a prime location for moonshiners.
The water that we have is so important with the hardness.
It takes about 9 days to produce corn whiskey. The moonshine is bottled immediately. The whiskey and bourbon are aged. He says the quality and flavor only get better with time.
The barrels are charred. The whiskey barrels that we use, they actually catch them on fire, and that caramelizes the sugar that's in the sap, the barrel itself. So the barrels contribute flavors and aromas such as vanilla, burnt marshmallow, toffee, caramel, all these wonderful characteristics that the barrels add to our whiskey. And it also, through time, matures the whiskey to where it's mellow and smooth and very tasty.
Moonshine is the key ingredient to a lot of what Blancett sells, including moonshine margaritas. But he says it's the story of an Ozark tradition that sells the most. For U.S. Farm Report, I'm Tyne.
Jim says his moonshining is legal since he paid for a permit and pays his hard liquor taxes. Learn more at copperrundistillery.com.